Please meet Rohan Silva, who joins us from Downing Street. We are very proud and honored to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
When you get a call from a politician, you know you have reached a certain milestone in your career. And Klaus from Gameforge apologizes himself. He couldn't make the trip. So everything worked out very, very well. So we are very happy to have you here. We want to talk today about London.
Yeah.
And in the audience, you have a lot of entrepreneurs who are thinking about coming to Europe from different countries. We have business from Turkey, Russia, all kinds of areas, Israel. Tell us, Rohan, what do you do in the government? You're one of these cool guys. When you normally think about government, you think about boring guys. What is your title?
So, well, thank you, Marco. My name is Rohan Silva. I am the Senior Policy Advisor to Prime Minister David Cameron. And I work across all areas of policy, but I'm particularly passionate, as I think Marco is and many of you are, with innovation, technology, enterprise. And so over the last few years, I've been working to create initiatives like Tech City, which promotes the cluster in East London, and also a whole set of changes, tax changes and regulation changes, which we might be able to talk about, all designed to try and make life easier, more productive, more profitable for investors and entrepreneurs.
And with great interest, you probably followed the recent press announcement that the famous Joanna Shields recently launched or joined this fascinating startup called London. Joanna joined from Facebook before she was at Bebo. How did you convince Joanna to head up Tech City?
The amazing thing about this, and I promise you this is true, is that she took no convincing at all. We had a headhunter calling around asking people for advice on who to get to run this brilliant organization called the Tech City Investment Organization that we've created to promote London. And the headhunter called Joanna and said, "Can you think of anyone?" And Joanna said, "Yes, me." and that was that. And the really cool thing about this, you know, as anyone who knows Joanna knows, she always backs the right horse at the right time. You know, she backed Bebo and up it went. She backed Facebook and up it went. And she really thinks something very special is happening in London and is about to happen in London.
Where's she from originally?
She's from America. She's from small town America. And I think when you grow up in small town America, big city London.
She becomes a Londoner by choice.
She becomes a Londoner by choice.
So tell us, who and why should you move headquarters or launch an office in London? I think this stuff, I mean, you have a lot of Germans here from Berlin, and you know, the key shortage in Berlin are IT specialists. Christian Hernandez told us yesterday, you know, he wants to cultivate people with social internet skills. So IT people, living costs, living quality, we know Lana is great fun. And how is the government helping? How difficult is it really to set up? If you walk us through these kind of three areas.
Yeah, well look, we are trying to do everything we can to make life as easy as possible for companies to move here. The Prime Minister has said again and again he wants the UK and wants London to be the best place in the world to start, run, grow a technology company. And the big selling points for London, I think, are one, that it's a place of convergence. It's a place where fashion, finance, commerce, advertising, media content, and technology all come together. And I think that really is the name of the game, as your conference shows. It's when you have that interplay that great things happen. The other great thing about London, I think, is that certainly compared to anywhere else in Europe, and I would say anywhere else in America, it's also the capital of the BRICS. It's also a place you can reach out to India, you can reach out to Africa, you can reach out to Asia, and you know, within a huge diaspora right at home, you can find people with language skills and social skills to really succeed in markets around the world.
And there's no IT staff shortage?
Well, I think that a really good sign is that Facebook has just opened its first engineering headquarters outside America in London, which is, I think, a recognition of the fact that London is a hub for top IT talent. But you know, we know that companies are hungry for more people with computer skills. So we're doing some really big things. We've just announced that if you are a computer science grad, we will give you £10,000 if you become a teacher, because we need to train the next generation of computer science graduates. And we're also changing the IT curriculum in schools, so that instead of young people being taught how to use PowerPoint and Excel, they're going to be taught how to code. And that's going to be in schools up and down the country in just a year's time. So we're moving very fast to make sure that in the years ahead, companies like yours have the people they need.
What is the entrepreneur's passport?
So the entrepreneur visa is the entrepreneur visa is a global first. What it means is if you're an investor and you back an entrepreneur outside of the EU, they get a free pass into the UK. And so if you've spotted the next Sergey Brin, in Russia, in North Africa, wherever they might be, in America, and you invest in that person, in that company, they automatically come to the UK. It's an amazing.
And as I know, the UK government, which is very digital, you probably can file all the forms online.
I'm sure you can file all the forms online. And I think what we really want to do is roll out the red carpet for entrepreneurs. And the entrepreneur visa is just one of a whole set of things we're doing to really make it as easy as possible.
How many entrepreneurs visa have you issued? Is it a number which is...
I mean, it's been up and running for sort of 18 months. I mean, the great thing about it is that if you meet the criteria, if the right money has gone into the company, that's fine. We back the investor's judgment. So, there really is many of them out there as people want to, as entrepreneurs that
And what's the minimum amount which needed to get invested to qualify? More than $50, right?
More than $50. It's about £100,000.
Okay.
So it's startup money into a company. And so if you're a VC fund, you spot someone outside of the EU, put money into them, they can be brought straight to London, straight to the UK. It's a fantastic route.
Okay. So yesterday we talked a lot about what an internet company needs. And we said, it's management, which comes with passion, technology, coding, etc. But then the very boring stuff, sales and marketing.
Right.
And we had a lot of discussions with some Israeli companies who are very good on the first two aspects.
Yes.
But in sales and marketing, they usually don't feel that comfortable. And what we also see is that they kind of like to move to another similar climate than Tel Aviv, which is San Francisco, Los Angeles, although San Francisco, I think, is quite cold sometimes. But how can we get them to London? And when you have an Israeli company, for example, or Turkish business, whatever, want to set up your headquarters in London, I guess the place to go is Tech City, right? And just for the ones who do not know, Tech City is kind of that direction, right?
It's very close.
How far is it from Heathrow?
How far is it from Heathrow? Well, when Crossrail comes in just a couple of years, you've got a train that will take you in about half an hour.
Is that right? So you can take from Heathrow the train, half an hour?
And even now, you've got City Airport right next to Tech City, and the Heathrow Express will run you from Heathrow to Paddington, and you go Paddington on the tube over to Liverpool Street in just a few minutes. So, it's all very, very connected. I mean, for those of you that don't know, Tech City is a cluster in East London that 2 years ago had about 200 digital companies. Today has over 1,000. So in 2 years, it's gone from 200 to over 1,000.
And I think very impressive is that Google, who used to have their headquarters opposite Victoria Station, very cool office, they had a big barbecue, which I think once caused a fire on the terrace. And they decided, not after the fire, but actually because of Tech City, to move their offices. Give us some examples of other prestigious tenants. I think Microsoft, is there.
Well, there's a funny story about Google, which is when we went to see Eric Schmidt to talk to him about Tech City, his initial idea was to buy the Olympic Park, which I think is a sign of just how much money that company has.
How much he loves sports.
How much he loves sports. We've got Cisco in the area, we've got Intel creating a research lab, Microsoft coming soon, Amazon opened a huge space in the area. There's an amazing list of companies that moved in, and also lots of really buzzing international companies. So Airbnb are there now, Etsy are there now.
So how many people work at Tech City in the internet digital scene?
We think there's about, so there's 1,000 companies, and we think there's something like 50,000 people working in technology in the area. So it's a really big number of people. And the cool and interesting thing about it is that it's right next to the City of London, so the financial district. And of course, there are more computer coders in the City of London than anywhere else in Europe. Wow. And what we're really seeing is a lot of those coders just stepping across the tech city.
You mean people leaving banking and go to internet?
Why would anyone do that, Roger?
Because it's a lot more fun. Rohan, thank you so much for sharing the vision. You're going to be around for probably a few more hours, hopefully, and I guess otherwise we're happy to direct large companies and small companies who want to have a closer look at Tech City. How do you approach Tech City? Is there a website?
I was going to say, so any of you who are thinking about London as a destination, just type in Tech City Investment Organisation into Google. There's a fantastic website that you'll land at, and we have the most brilliant team. So Marco talked about Joanna Shields. We also have a great team underneath her of people that are there to help you find property, find staff, find the things that companies need to really make a success in this great city.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.